Hi there, welcome to GuySuCo RoundUp. I'm Delmer Dash. Thank you for joining us. Here's a look at what we have in store for you this week.
I want to use this opportunity to thank all the workers in the Sugar Belt for their efforts in this transformation process.
And the rains came earlier than we anticipated.
Because of all the inputs that we had from last year, what input of spares that helped us significantly.
While we acknowledge the unprecedented rainfalls we experienced during the past week is as a result of the La Nina weather pattern, this affected operations at our producing estates severely. At Eiffel Estate, which is located on the west coast of Demerara, and historically the wettest estate, has been impacted like every other estate. Let's find out more from Sharon Strout, acting estate manager.
Well, the weather in GuySuCo impacts all the estates negatively. For us at Eiffel, we weren't hit as hard with the weather as our brothers or sisters at Vermont and Albion. However, as of this morning, we recorded 40 millimeters of rainfall overnight or over the reporting day. And this now will affect the loading. It will also affect the ability of the cane farmers to bring canes to the factory. So it means that our factory will be out of cane for a prolonged period. And as we speak, the rain has started again. So what happens now, it will affect our grinding hours, it will affect our ability to produce, and it will also affect our overall, the achievement of our overall target. We have done things to maximize on the opportunity time or the opportunity day that we have available when the rain abates. We've been burning canes close to the estate, and we've been pushing the bell loading operation as far as practical. But with the rains that you see here, means that we would have to revise some of the strategies that we had for today. Currently, you see we're out of cane, and we're hoping to start tomorrow. But that would be dependent on what happens in the rest of the day. Added to the effect on the production, the weather also causes the conditions of backflow to be unsafe. Right? Obviously, with more wet body conditions, we have more slips and falls and more trips. And this is another consideration that we have to keep in mind when we're planning and strategizing our harvesting activities. We have to take care of our harvest.
The other thing I want to find out is this one of the wettest periods you have had now? If you don't take it
Well, the weather is such an unpredictable thing. From history working on this estate, prior to now, 10 years ago, this used to be the wettest estate. And now I see it shifted over to Vermont and Albion. However, we were expecting the May-June rains to come, but we were warned that the forecast would have shifted. And as you see, it has shifted, and the rains came earlier than we anticipated. So, it being the wettest estate, currently, I would want to say the Berbice estates have it worse than us, but as you can see, the rains are here currently. There's another area which I want to highlight. Now at Eiffel Estate, we're heavily dependent on the contribution of our cane farmers, who for this crop have been very supportive of us, and we have a symbiotic relationship with them, which is one of mutual benefit. Now, we help provide bell loading aid to help them to take the canes off the ground, and also we take care of the dams that they use. As it relates to weather, as you can see, with the dam conditions being affected, this affects their ability to bring in the canes to us. Currently you see in the trailer park there are a lot of empty trailers that are just waiting for the weather to improve for them to be loaded and brought to the factory.
Would you just explain,
Okay.
for example, for the last past few weeks, we've had a consistent very frequent
We did it before. We did it when we were doing. Well,
What's it?
Despite the challenges of the rainy weather, factory operations at Eiffel Estate has improved significantly, as we hear from Mr. Canterbury, factory engineering manager.
Since we have started the crop, we are approximating our 10th run so far. We were going pretty good until when the weather came in, whereby we had some setbacks in terms of the weather. We begin to experience several stoppages due to low steam because of excessive trash and mud that comes into the factory due to the weather condition. However, I want to say that in comparison to last year first crop, this first crop of 2021, we are doing far better at this moment. Taking into consideration first crop, last year we had 400 plus hours of factory stoppages downtime. The date where we stand now is approximately 154 hours in factory stoppages, of which most of them are for chokes and low steam in the factory. We have managed to improve significantly in terms of our mechanical downtime because of all the inputs that we had from last year. From the center, we had one input of spares that help us significantly. If we should look at our factory stoppages in terms of mechanical, we just have had one major stop at the mills, and we had one major stop at the boilers, whereby our number 4 boiler did experience a tube leak. That tube leak subsequently had some impact on our roof and other tubing in the boilers. When you look overall, we can see that iFlood has come a far way. But say iFlood has gone a very far way in terms of its maintenance, its standards from last year to now. And that is evident when you take into consideration of our downtime. I'm saying now, if it wasn't for the rain that came and put some negative effects on this crop, we would have been a very far way. We would have been able to close this crop already. And now we just have to keep going on for a few more weeks in order to reach up to our target. Having said that, I want to thank all the workers who work assiduously on the number 4 boiler. I want to thank all the workers who are putting their best foot forward, making all effort to see iFlood factory becomes a success in the future.
Congratulations Team iFlood for that rapid reduction in downtime of 246 hours. Our iFlood estate factory is over 200 years old and continues to produce efficiently after a significant sum was injected in January 2021 to rehabilitate major components of the factory. This was not possible without the support of the government of Guyana and yes, you, our dedicated workers.
The GuySuCo Corporation Inc. invites suitably qualified companies to submit tenders for the supply and delivery of the following materials which are required for the fabrication of cane transport punts. The materials required are divided into 6 lots, and bids are to be submitted for the respective lots. A bidder could tender for any or all of the lots. Lot number 1. Mild steel plates in 1/4 and 1/2 inch thickness. Plates to be supplied in sheets of 4 sizes. Lot number 2. Mild steel flat bar in 10.0 mm thickness, 4.0 inch diameter mild steel pipes, Schedule 40, 1.0 inch diameter mild steel round bar. Lot number 3, 3/4 inches or 20 mm steel chain. Lot number 4, steel hooks with 1.0 inch eye. Lot number 5, marine coal tar. Lot number 6, mild steel 6-13 arc welding electrodes, number 8 size. Full details on dimensions, specifications, and quantities could be obtained from the invitation for bid document. Closing date for submission of bids, Tuesday, 15 June 2021. A complete set of bidding documents can be downloaded from our websites www.GuySuCo.com and epr.GuySuCo.com. Alternatively, The bidding documents could be obtained in printed format from GuySuCo for a non-refundable cost of 2,000 Ghana dollars. Payment for same must be made at the cashier, GuySuCo Head Office, LBI Estate, Labon Intention, East Coast, Demerara, and documents are to be collected from the Secretary, Procurement and Contract Management Department at the same location upon presentation of the receipt. Bids must be deposited into the tender box at the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, Ministry of Finance, Main and Urquhart Streets, Georgetown, Guyana, South America, on or before Tuesday, 15 June 2021 at 9 hours, at which time they will be opened in the presence of the bidders or bidders' representatives who wish to attend while observing COVID-19 guidelines. Late bids will be rejected. Materials Manager, Procurement and Contract Management Department, GuySuCo Corporation Inc., LBI Estate, Labon Intention, East Coast, Demerara, Guyana, South America. Telephone numbers: LBI Estate 220-2891 or 220-2894. Email mmd@guysuco.com. All domestic and international bids are accepted by the GuySuCo Corporation Inc. The company reserves the right to reject any or all bids at any time during the procurement process.
Still on the impact of the weather on our operations, at the Blairmont Estate, the main access dam used to transport to haul the punts from field to the factory was battered for several kilometers. This also is causing rapid erosion of the land, affecting the cane transport route, which causes the factory to be without canes for production in some cases. As the saying goes, sugarcane cultivation and sugar production is not for the faint heart. Yesterday, Guyana observed Labor Day, and we would like to thank all our workers for their commitment as we forge ahead together to make the industry viable again.
It was Martin Luther King who said, "No work is insignificant. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with excellence," unquote. On this Labor Day 2021, on behalf of Team GuySuCo, we want to wish all of our workers and all workers across this country fraternal greetings and salutations. We also want to wish the three unions in the sugar industry, GAU, NASI, and the GLU, fraternal greetings. Today, on this Labor Day 2021, we want to salute our workforce who continue to toil night and day in conditions that are not favorable because of the unseasonal rainfalls, and express our gratitude to them for standing with the sugar industry to bring progress to the families in the sugar heartland and to this nation as a whole. Today, we salute sugar workers for playing a big role in the progress that has happened in this country over the last year. From the dark days where our democracy was under a clear and present danger, to today where the sugar industry now has a 5-year strategic plan that is going to transform and transition this industry from cheap bulk sugar to more valuable sugar-related products, such as value-added packaged sugar. The last year, as I said, was not easy in the sugar belt, but because of the determination and the hard work of countless sugar workers, this nation continues to march forward. As the Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Sugar Corporation, I want to use this opportunity to thank all the workers in the sugar belt for their efforts in this transformation process, and to ask them to continue to be an inspiration to us all. Well done, sugar workers. Well done, workers of Guyana. Well done, Guyana.
Did you know our sugar produced here in Guyana is one of the best internationally? For over several centuries, the efficient management of our fertile coastal lands allowed us to cultivate sugarcane as a monocrop. Let's learn more about our soil types on which we cultivate our sugarcane.
One of the core soils we have is the Whittaker 37 series soil. Now, these soils have been formed from a range of soil of marine deposits, distinct properties, and are made up of a lot of fine clays, which have distinct properties of swell and strength. Now, the intensity
of this property is significant that these soils have the montmorillonite properties. Now, the Whittaker series soil can be found at LBI, Enmore Estate, and in the Barbies you have them at Albion and Port Moran. The next soil type that we have in the industry is referred to as the I-flat series soil, and those are the 14 and 16 series soil. Now these soils are very similar in characteristics to the Whittaker series soil. However, the slight difference with this soil is that it has a little bit more of silt in its composition. Now, the I-flat series soil is predominantly at I-flat estate, within the front line of that estate. The next type of soil we have is the soil that has been developed from the decomposition of clay. Good? Organic matter and clay. Now, this soil type basically can be characterized into two soil types. One is the marine Maria clay, and those are the 21 and 22 soil series. And the second type you're looking at here is the Brickery Tushan series. Those are the 36 and 39 soil series. Now, again, those soil types are found at I-flat estate. The other soil type we have is the Chodeville 23 series soil type. Now, this soil type has been developed with the decomposition of organic matter and sulfate, and this soil type is high in acid sulfate soil, what we refer to as acid sulfate soils. Now, this soil type is predominantly found at I-flat estate. I-flat estate is the only estate that has acid sulfate soil. GuySuCo has not been farming on those acid sulfate soils of recent. GuySuCo cultivation is concentrated on the 14 and the 16 and the 21 and 22 soil series at I-flat. So the other soil series we have are those soil series that has been developed from the alluvial deposit, the riverine alluvial deposits. And those are the Kanji series. You have the Everton 31A series, and you have the DeBelt 1C series. Now, this soil type can be found at Wales, can be found at Providence, can be found at Rosal, Skeldon, and Albion. The other soil type we have is the Anfawak 41 series, and these soil type have been developed with a range of soil types closely related to the Whittaker. However, they are more defined profiles within these soil series, the Anfawak series. They have been developed longer than the Whittaker series. You need to manage acidity, right? You need to manage for moisture content. Now, in order to manage acidity, the first thing you must know, what is the nutrient status of the soil? So how do we determine the nutrient status? And that leads me to the soil sampling methodology within GuySuCo. Now, the objective of a soil sample is to do moisture content, you do the nutrient status, and you do the liming requirement. Those three things. Now, why you need to do a moisture content? You need to do a moisture content to determine if the moisture within the soil is right for mechanical tillage operation before you actually go and till. Now, the ideal moisture content for mechanical tillage is 35–40% moisture content. You also do moisture content in the dry period to determine the need for irrigation. If you have a crop that is planted here and it's very dry, your cane will not grow as you expected it. It will be under stress. So you need to determine that moisture content. So once the moisture content drops below 10 to 15%, there is need to irrigate those canes. Good. Now, the second point is you need to know the nutrient status of your soil, because whatever is present within your soil will aid the growth and development of your crop. And the third point I mentioned is that you need to know your liming requirement. Now, acidity, we are farming along the coastal plain, and the sugar belts or the land that we are farming can be classified as acidic on the pH scale. 50% of the soil we requirement has a pH that ranges between 5.5 to 6.5. That is the ideal range to cultivate our crop. Once the pH drops below 5.5, there is a need to ameliorate the soil with low-grade rock phosphate, till, and replant that area. The soil sample is required to be taken at the penultimate cycle, which is the 4th cycle before the crop life ends. So you know basically crop life is from plant to 5R. So once you enter that 4th cycle, each and every field must be sampled. Now, and when you sample in those fields, you do it in a M or W pattern, and you take 9 sample sites. So basically, at the 9 sample site, you go into 2 profiles. You go into the 0 to 6 inch, you take 1 soil sample there, there's the top soil, and then you go at the next profile, the 6 to 12 inch. Now, when you take those samples at the 9 sample site, you group all the 0 to 6 as 1, and you label it accurately. The same goes for the 6 to 12, you label it accurately. Bring it to the field lab, you air dry it. Once you air dry it, you make it all into all the 0 to 6 for one field into composite sample. With that composite sample, it's then ground, and then it's then sieved, and approximately 1 kg of that sample is selected and sent to the central lab for analysis. You analyze for the chemical properties, the N, P, and K, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus.
As part of our strategy to better serve you, our valued customers, we are pleased to inform that there are no increases in the price for our packaged sugar. We wish to encourage you to purchase any of our brands, including Demerara Gold and Enmore Crystals, that are hygienically packaged. Also, if you are desirous of managing your sugar consumption, we have our 5-gram sachet especially for you. Here's a quick tip for those of you who uses Enmore Crystals, another brand of sugar produced by GuySuCo. You might want to hold on to those empty packets. That's a hint for an exciting opportunity coming up just for you. We will tell you more about this in the coming weeks. Please remember to observe all COVID-19 protocols and guidelines. Until next time, be safe. Bye for now.